Well, hello everybody. Welcome to Screaming Tips Part 3. I am EJ the Phoenix, your amateur coach of today. And today we're gonna cover up chest voice, head voice, and pharyngeal. And I'll be explaining all those things right about now. So sit back, relax, let's get to it. So chest voice, head voice, and pharyngeal are the three categories of the different voices that we use as singing or screaming, even rapping. So today I'm gonna be focusing on explaining chest voice, head voice, and pharyngeal. So let's start up with chest voice. So chest voice pretty much is the very low scream,
which is really right here. So a lot of times for chest voice, let's say
you're in choir. A lot of times, people that do bass or baritone, a lot of times you'll find them right here, and their voices don't go anywhere low, and a lot of times they will be singing like this. That's chest voice. That's where everything is. Now, translating that into screaming, it's about the same thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you exactly a chest voice scream. But before I do that, I want to let you know the different screams there are in chest voice. So chest voice is where a lot of the death metal people use, which are low grower. I already forgot a few. The one that everybody uses for death metal. But there's two kinds. That's as far as I know. So I'm gonna show you how to use your chest voice scream measurably and without getting hurt. So again, drink water before you do this, and drink honey to soothe down your voice. I'm actually gonna do that right now. Just give me 1 second. Excuse the awkward silence. What kind of coach am I? I'm really following my own blogs. Anyways, chest voice. I'm gonna do it by using one of my songs, Lack of Knowledge. Let's say I were to scream, I'm perishing in chest voice. It sounds like this. I'm perishing! So as you can see, my larynx is very, very low.
It's very low.
It's almost as if you are doing like opera. And there is exercises. I recommend that you guys check Singing Success channel. They teach a lot of the chest voice, head voice, and pharyngeal. I'm not really gonna go into all the details of how to warm up your voice and all that. I'm here to teach you just the basics of screaming, things like that. But there are exercises for that you can hop on YouTube and follow up their warm up procedures. I did it one time, and honestly, it was very helpful. So, again, this is your chest voice. I'm perishing! And you can push, like I can beat up myself a little bit, but I recommend that you play it safe. If your voice is not used to it, don't try to push too much. But if you can handle the pressure, go for it. But always be cautious with the chest voice. The chest voice can be very tricky. Now, pharyngeal screaming is actually so it's like right there in the very center. So chest voice was
very low.
Pharyngeal is like this, just in the very center. Now, a lot of screams are right there. The mid-range scream is actually very common. The fry scream, which is actually one of my favorites. I love using the fry scream, which is basically the scream I've been showing you guys every time I'm screaming. Is usually you can use the different varieties, in screaming and transition them into your chest voice, your pharyngeal, and your head voice. So a pharyngeal screaming, which is the mid-range scream, again using the same example, would be, again I'm gonna do it off my song Lack of Knowledge, I'm perishing. So I'm gonna scream that in pharyngeal. It's like this. I'm perishing! basically, here's how you do it. It's basically just you are opening up a little bit. You're taking a little bit more breath than usual, which in the chest voice, you're not taking as much breath because it's super low. You're not really pushing too much, so it's like semi-close. Now, with the pharyngeal, you have to kind of close up just a tiny little bit and use a little bit more power. So, again, posturing is very important. So, stand up straight, take a deep breath, really relax your muscles, and if you're warmed up and you did all of the following, you follow up the instructions on blocks 1 and 2, then your voice should be able to get to this level little by little. It's not gonna happen overnight. It takes time and practice. So, take a few days off. Don't always be doing this if your voice cannot handle the pressure, because everybody's voice is different. Some people's vocal cords can be very sensitive, so not a lot of people can do screaming, and that is one of those reasons. It's because their vocal cords are sensitive to this. So screaming is not for everybody. If you are somebody that is trying to do screamo, but you see that you are getting pain, or you start to choke and you can't breathe, stop everything that you're doing, pause the block, take a breather, walk around, take lots of water, but don't hop in literally in the middle of a choke or something like that, because then you're just gonna make your voice even worse. So again, pharyngeal screaming using lack of knowledge again. So head voice is the highest of highest. It's actually, out there, like very high. So in this part, it's actually where you open up a little bit more your voice, and this is where you really are exercising your muscles. This is where you're adding just enough pressure to sound a little bit higher. So, chest voice is a little more gentle. Head voice is like in between, and then head voice is where you finally ascend to that point where you can really nail it down and really sound like a heavy metal screamer and stuff like that. But do be careful with this one, because this one requires a lot of vocal strength. And head voice is where the full score scream, fry scream, all the following screams, tonal scream, inhale scream, you name it. There's a lot of different types of scream. I'm not gonna get into all of them. So again, I'm gonna show you the chest voice. Pharyngeal. And now, if you take it to a level a little bit higher, you'll be like, so it's a whole lot higher, more strength that you are using in your voice. So if you are not yet ready to get to your head voice, don't jump into head voice. Start up warming up your chest voice, then head on to pharyngeal, and then the head voice. Don't try to skip steps. It's one of the biggest mistakes you can do is skip a step. In music, you gotta either ride the whole roller coaster or don't ride it at all. That's just how it works. So yeah, that was your head voice scream. This about concludes our blog. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope to see you guys for block 4, which I will be teaching you how to transition your singing into a scream. Love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in.